Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 here in Gelderland. No, I'm not going to worry about that. What I do want to do with this one is I'm just going to dump that lot there, and then our main lorry can come over and gather it up in a second. I've got 1 or 2 eggs there that we want to go and pick up. We'll do that in a minute. I just want to gather up these bits at the greenhouse. We're not going to need to worry about doing this greenhouse stuff anymore. And, you know, to start with, I actually really like gathering... Well, I like gathering up pallets and moving them so long as I've got an auto-load. If I don't have an auto-load, I find moving pallets to be a really horrifically horrible, frustrating job, and I really detest it. But we're not stuck in that situation. We have this gloriousness right here, which is amazing. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take all of these goods and I'm going to put them in the factories rather than taking them off and selling them. I want to put as many of these into the factory as I can, so I'll bring... Potato factory is going to be our priority. So I'll back that bad boy in there, and it's just the... I got 20 litres of tomatoes that we can't do anything with there. Strawberries... I think I've already filled up at this one. Yeah, that's already filled up. So I've then got the bakery over here, which is now where we want strawberries. But I think, yes, there's also going to be at the cereal place right here. And in the bakery is going to be the rest of the strawberries are all going to go in there. The whole lot. Oh, we've got 162 litres of strawberry left, and we've got 20 litres of tomatoes. So the tiny little bit of strawberries that we've got left, is that... No, that's not going into pancakes. We don't have any going into pancakes. There's nothing else I can do with these. There's that one, which is now full. And there's the donut production right there, which is now full. So those 3 tiny bits of pallets, unfortunately, because of the way they are, they're going to have to be loaded up onto our main lorry, which isn't really what I wanted to do. I'm just going to have to dump down there. That's using up a lot of space that we don't really want it to use up. This one can park up here for now. Right, you stop there. You're empty, you can just shut down, and I want to go to this one. Unhitch that one, and then we'll go over here and we'll get our trailer with our auto load feature. I do wonder if maybe we should get a second smaller trailer on the back. That might be pretty cool, actually. And then I've got honey over here, which I'm going to load up first. So I'm going to press R for R on there, and I'm going to load up that honey. And then I'm going to bring this one over this way, and I'm going to load up all of the eggs that I can. Bring you around here. You're very nearly almost full with eggs. Run all the way down through there, and that is now completely loaded up, and then I can switch to that one. See, that's the great thing about all of these eggs. I've now got 325,000 litres of eggs that I'm carrying around, which is absolutely amazing. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to get these little tiny bits of pallet, and I'll load them on first, and then I'll come over here and we'll get the more full pallets. Put the rest of them. Oh, I was actually able to get all of them. I didn't actually expect that I would be able to do that. This is fantastic. 325,000 litres of eggs, 21,000 litres of honey, and then 8,000 cereal, 162 litres of strawberry, 6,000 litres of butter, and 20 tomatoes. It's quite a mixture that we've got on here. Most of it is the eggs. We are going to get an absolute fortune for these eggs. How much are eggs going for at the moment? It's July. I think, to be honest, I think eggs is a little bit low in price right now. which is a bit unfortunate. We'll have a look in here. So the sell everything container is 1157. That's where I'm going. I don't bother going anywhere else. Oh no, July is not too bad, actually. That's actually fairly high in price. It doesn't really matter. I sell them whenever because, you know, we're such a large-scale producer on here that's kind of what we need to do. We need to sell whenever. So we're on 60,000 euros that we've got right now. We've got a nice 1,500 euro driving bonus. And we will run round here like this. And start selling all of these eggs and stuff, which is going to be fantastic. Look at this. And, yep, there we go. This is going to... It takes a while to actually get the pallets to sell. This is what I love about it. This is absolutely amazing with this. The honey has actually now sold, I think. So I'm slowly dragging this across because I want to try and get the whole sale done in one go. It's going to be insane when we've got even more chickens on here. I mean, if I was still working on the whole thing... Why aren't the back ones selling? Oh, they are. Right, for a minute I thought the back ones weren't selling properly, but they are actually selling. That's okay. There's a thing with... Yeah, with the eggs, if we didn't have the bigger pallets, we would be struggling to keep up with what those chickens are producing. We really would. It would be a real, genuine struggle to keep up with everything that chickens are producing. But because we got the bigger pallets, we are at least able to manage it. And we got 420,000 euros for that lot. Now, that's more like it. Because what that means... you're still loading, apparently. Right, let's take all the straps off of that one. And then... Let's turn that off, and then take all the straps off like that. And then I'll highlight the front one. Right, okay. And I'm just going to get this one home a second. 420,000 means that I do actually now have enough to build a sugar mill. There is only one option for sugar mill in the base game. Bakery, carpenter, dairy, spinnery. Okay. We have one sugar mill in the base game. So, the problem with the sugar mill, as far as I'm concerned, is the pallets go out the front and deposit... Your tip is at the back of the factory. So, it's not actually going to go there very well. Like, we're not going to be able to get around it with the lorries particularly effectively, I don't think. I could bring it up here and put it on this corner. I've got this line of factory units and everything up here. That one up the front is... Well, that tips at the front there, doesn't it? So I could put this one in, and that would work out rather nicely. If I was to drop it there, that'd be about right for it. Or I could put it over here, and then we could drive in round the back. So we now have a sugar factory over here, and you can see, if you have a look round, that there's a few bits of trash and so on that have been left out the back. Just some bags and stuff like that, and a few skips. And some genius decided that this was the perfect place to set up some corporate art. They built this for some unknown, very peculiar reason, and then stuck benches around. So if you come to look at it, you basically all sit in a circle staring at these weird, creepy dolphins all doing synchronized swimming. Apparently, it was that the bosses of all the factories around here thought that this would be good so that the employees could come out here on a lunch break, sit down and be all serene and calming and then work harder. I get the feeling that this was built by someone that has never, ever read any poetry ever in their life, and also is aware of beauty and what beauty could be, but doesn't quite grasp the concept. This is corporate art. Completely and totally. There is no other possible explanation, just corporate art, and yeah, it's creepy. It's weird. I'm not going to be sitting here and enjoying that particular piece of corporate art. I'm going to just leave that well alone. But we now have a sugar mill for when things are getting started on there. But we don't need to worry about that right now. What we need to worry about right now is doing our wheat harvest, which is now ready to roll. So we need this bad boy over here. We need to go flying off down to the field. And we need to start getting in our wheat. I don't know if we're going to have 240,000 litres of wheat or if we're going to have more than that. I'm kind of thinking that like the wheat that I produce, I want to put this into the mill that we've got so that I can grind that up to make flour and so on. The chickens are going to be consuming 3.6 million litres of wheat or barley per year in order to do what they need to do. I think what we will do is we'll buy that in rather than trying to grow it ourselves, or we're not going to be able to do both. At least we're not going to be able to do both at the moment. Eventually, I think we will be able to do both. I think we will actually be able to do that, but we're not going to be able to do that right now. We're going to kind of need to, I think, stick with buying in the chicken feed, and then the wheat that we grow we will use for our bakery and stuff like that. Right, I was about to go and start combining the field up there, but there's been a game update, and I have also tinkered with mods a little bit, and I have a slight problem. The chickens here, I have gone and tinkered with it a little bit. I extended it out and forgot that I have a greenhouse in the way, so now the end pallet position is sort of right slap bang in the middle of this greenhouse. Now that doesn't really matter, that's not going to make any major difference. I can just move the greenhouse, which I'm going to do shortly. But the problem that I've got is that for some reason it seems that the larger capacity pallets mod has stopped working. And I think that's probably to do with the game update rather than anything that I've been doing tinkering on the map. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about that. The honey pallets don't seem to be spawning correctly either, but that could just be me. So I'm going to check a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to move that greenhouse. So we've got... Hang on. What are we making in this greenhouse? I think this one's strawberries. I had a feeling this one was strawberries. That is indeed strawberries. Now, there's only 395 in there. The water doesn't matter. We will not worry about that for a minute. So I'm going to go into the construction, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to take that one, and I'm going to sell it. Yes. Just like that. So, yeah, you can see the pallets spawner. I've extended that out for the chickens so that we've got a bit more space on there, which I thought might be a good thing. I thought that might actually end up being better. But if the... I mean, yes, it's going to be especially better if the larger capacity pallets mod really has ceased to function. If it has, we might be in a spot of bother when it comes to gathering up some of the pallets of stuff. Not everything is on bigger pallets, but some of these things, like the chicken eggs, it's been proving to be rather invaluable. I may end up having to give up holding 60,000 chickens in this tiny little house, and instead do something that's got a much bigger pallet capacity and do something else entirely. But that's going to mean a lot of shunting around with a lorry, and I don't really want to do that either. I'm not thrilled about this idea, I got to admit. Now, I've got down there is just a large greenhouse. That one over there is the large greenhouse, peppers, onions, and cucumbers, and that one is the same. So I'm going to go with another large greenhouse here. I'm going to spin it round so that it is lined up with that one, and we've got, well, about that much space in between them. I don't know if I can get this exactly the same kind of distance. That looks roughly about the same. Something like that. I got to be able to get through it with a lorry or something like that, haven't I? Let's just plonk that one down there. Okay, right. That one will do just fine over there. So he's out of the way, and then what I will do is I'll go over to it over here like this, and we press R for R in there. Now, that's a level 1 greenhouse. The other greenhouses are all level 2, so I will go first. We want this one to be strawberries, so I want to activate that, and then water over here I will buy, yes, and then I will do that again, yes, and then I will go and upgrade this greenhouse. I don't know if I'd upgraded it previously or not. I can't actually remember, but I will upgrade it, so we'll do that. It's another 11,000, yes, okay, and then we'll come down here to this one, and we will buy more water and buy again, and it doubles it again. I do like the way it does this, in that it basically just doubles up the product that you've got in there until you had enough of doubling everything up. So we buy that. It'll give us the last little bit, 8,009 litres. So that one's now full, and it's producing strawberries. And I'm just going to leave that one like that. So that bit's fine. I'm not really overly concerned about that. We've got a few other bits in here that we're going to want to do. Premium potatoes right there. I would like to buy some more of those in, because I have found in the past that with the premium potatoes, they do actually, if you've got all of the recipes activated, you can't produce the stuff fast enough to... you can't produce enough premium potatoes to keep all of the recipes going, which is something that I don't particularly like about this mod. I would like that one little bit to be altered, but it's fine. I'm not going to try and tinker with that one. I'm going to leave that one as it is. I'm just going to buy more premium potatoes. So we're just going to do that. I'll buy those in from someone else. They can help us out with that. I'm sure everybody will be happy with that. And we're going to go back over here. So I'm just going to speed the time up a little bit, so that we go past 11 o'clock, and we should see some there we go. Extra pallets have now spawned. Now, I'm not sure if those extra pallets are spawning because the larger capacity pallets mod doesn't work at the moment. I also altered these pallets ever so slightly. They've rotted a little bit, and so they've sort of collapsed a bit further. And I was hoping that might actually cause these to spawn a bit better, a bit differently, but it doesn't seem to be. But they're now on 1,400 pieces each instead of the 7,000 that we had over here. And this is something that I really, really, really don't like. Eggs and honey. I don't want to have to go back to doing the really small pallets of everything. Now, this one over here, I've got 651 litres of honey in there. If I go into this bit, I know we're over there. We're ready and waiting to go and harvest this great big field over here. This is now ready and keen to go. But it's wheat. We can actually wait for 1 more month before we do that, which means that I do have the option to just hang around here, speed time up really fast, and see what we get from this pallet here. See, it's not changing at all at the moment. I've got 650 litres of honey right there. And that doesn't seem to be... Now, I'm not sure if it's going to change again. No, it's not. It's just not altering. But if I move back a little bit, maybe it will. It might just be because I was too close. So we'll stay back over here out of the way and see if it does anything then. Doesn't seem to be. It's just not altering. It's not doing what I need it to do. I need it to be, there's 1557. Now it's gone up again to 2,000 litres. It seems to be very kind of broken amounts of honey coming out. Like, it doesn't seem to be flowing smoothly. I thought previously that it was doing it a little bit to a time. And now we've got 400 litre pallets. So there's something, I think that the update to the game, because they changed the, it basically said, and there's the chicken eggs, they've all filled right up. It said something in the base game changing mods to allow up to 64 different, I think it was different crops, or 64 something, has been changed and added. And now this one is only doing one pallet at a time, but really, really small intervals, and I don't really understand why. This beehive right here, it could be those beehives are broken. That could be what's causing it. And basically, I have got absolutely no idea. And if it's the beehives, it's going to be... That is an absolute crying shame, because I rather like those beehives. It might be those that have done it. I did also make a slight change to the beehive spawner, but that's not the one I'm using right now. And it might be that the big pallet capacity is only going to work for new things placed down. So if I was to go and place a different chicken pen, maybe that would fix it. But I doubt it somehow. I'm not... I just... Yeah, I can't see that that's going to fix it. Not the way those pallets are working at the moment. So I'm going to go back. Well, actually, first of all, I'm going... No, I'm not going to skip the night. I'm going to put down a couple of beehives. The reason I'm going through this, I've been sort of puzzling over this for a little bit now, and I can't understand why it's not working properly. I know it's very, very dark at the minute. And so I'm kind of hoping that maybe some of you have got some insight as to why it's all broken, and whether you've encountered anything similar, because I know that some of you play this game a lot, so maybe you've also encountered something similar. Maybe somebody has some insight as to why our honey is not spawning properly. It could be that I've just got too many beehives. So I'm going to put down some base game beehives a minute. Just a couple. I only want one or two of them, because otherwise it's just daft. And there, and let's just put one more. Right, so we've got a couple of beehives placed down there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip... Ooh, wait. Is that already started? So maybe that pallet, maybe the beehive there is broken. It's 384 litres. That seems to be more there, as it's... I don't know. Let me skip the night a second. Okay, I skipped the night, and all it did was fill up that one pallet there, and has not done anything else. So I don't know what's happening with the spawner here, and it's only putting out 400 litre pallets. Doesn't seem to be doing it very often either. That went at 8 o'clock. Let's go through until 9 o'clock and see if anything else happens. The chicken eggs are full. Oh, right. That's changed a little bit now. It might just be updating itself and trying to figure things out. I don't really know. I'm going to leave that for a minute. So it does seem that the pallet spawner thing that was giving us a bigger capacity pallets has now broken because of the update. Also, I did increase the capacity of the cows ever so slightly. I figured that 80 cows really wasn't enough. We want to have some big scale stuff. So I tried 80,000 cows with all appropriate capacities increased as well. But apparently 65,535 cows is the maximum that we are permitted. So I'm not quite sure why they don't want us to have more than that. However, we will leave the cows there to slowly accumulate. I am so disappointed with this. I mean, at least I have extended that one out a bit, and so I've got a few more pallets that can place down, but still, I don't like it. I don't like the change that we've got here with just 1,400 litres per pallet. I'd gotten used to these 7,000 ones. I'd become accustomed. It was the lifestyle to which I'd become accustomed, and now I no longer have that lifestyle. But because we've had a game update, that one there is 1,000 litres, that one is 1,000, it spawned those out. Yeah, I'm wondering if new things changed to 5,000, and old, because I think this one was here already. So maybe if I was to place down something new, it might change it. Instead of doing 400 litres. That means I'm going to have to put down a new chicken pen. Which I really, really don't want to do, because I got 30,000 chickens in there. And removing 30,000 chickens is not fun. I'm going to just have to delete that another way, I think. But this one is filling up quite rapidly. Now, it seems to be that it's spawning the honey quite slowly, but it is actually spawning it. So it's coming up there, where, like how it should come up, but at the same time, it's still going rather slowly. So I'm going to just try something different, because I do have another option, which is the bees, which is here, and I have got some slightly increased ones there. More honey pallet place options cat. I just did these two. So this one, you can see it's quite a bit bigger there. But what we got to do first is we have to remove the existing spawner. So if I click on that one, do you want to sell? Yes, I do. Okay. No pallet location available for bees. Now, this is quite a big one now. I forgot to move the interaction point to the middle of it. I didn't actually know that the thing I was looking at... There was a thing I was looking at, and I didn't know that it was the interaction point. So, that's why it's like it is. I'm going to put this one over here. I think it's just going to be more convenient if we have it over this side out of the way. So I'm going to place that one down there. And then we've got a few pallets right there. And we'll take a hop, skip, and a jump over here, and we will see if it's placing down 400-litre pallets or if it's placing down regular pallet. It's 400-litre pallets. That's a 245-litre. But... yeah, okay, so it's 400-litre pallets. We've got 400s on there now instead of the 2000s. The chicken ones are even more disappointing. I mean, all the pallets were ×5. So, for whatever reason, that mod seems to have broken with the update. I don't know how to fix that. I did go and look at the code on it, but I have no idea what I would need to adjust in order to be able to fix it. So I'm kind of stuck. What we're going to need to do is find a different type of chicken pen so that it has a lot more lines. Because another thing that I don't know how to do is add additional lines of pallets. Like I had to get this one specifically because it had 2 lines of pallets, and I can extend those out. But I don't know how to add in, because you've got to write extra lines of code to make it work properly, and I don't know how to reference them all in and do that. So I don't know how to basically make a great big field full of pallets, which would be one option, and then I'd need to get some kind of auto-load that doesn't load into something like this. There is actually something that might work for that, rather than doing it this way. This one here, pallet auto-load trailer. Now, what this one works a little bit differently to these auto-load trailers. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.